So, why do you feel that that should be banned?
Okay, so way back when in the 70s, when Narcan was non-existent, let me start. Living in the town that I do, there's a huge it's full of just narcotics, heroin at the top of the list. And so
Okay.
constantly we're hearing sirens and news reports of, oh, people OD, this is what's going on in my town, and it's just an everyday thing. But back in the 70s, where Narcan was not existent, the amount of addicts was at its low because they weren't coming back to life. We're giving these addicts an opportunity to restart their life, and hopefully, but the majority of them just end up going back to using narcotics.
So you think that they should just be allowed to die?
Yes, that's
because
go ahead.
Because they're addicts.
Well, I mean, the whole point, their drug kills them, and they know this coming into the get-go. So if they OD, then that was their own.
Right, but who are they hurting?
Themselves.
Right, so therefore they should be allowed to hurt themselves.
Right, so they should die.
And I think, again, they should be allowed to hurt themselves. Why not?
But we're wasting money. My town, especially, we're wasting money to fulfill these Narcan shots that we don't have money for, because all of these heroin addicts I cannot speak, are like getting brought back to life and then starting the whole cycle over and over.
I see where you would think that, and that's a logical point of view, but it's counterintuitive and it's the opposite. Your town is 100%, I am certain of it, making money because of its heroin problem. 100%.
Actually, my town is losing money because of the heroin problem, because my city's police are being overthrown by the state's police because we cannot afford to have all these heroin addicts here. The state troopers are now running town because of this whole problem.
I'm quite certain your town is making money because of it.
How? How would they make money?
Because it's a government entity, and all government entities make money because of the war on drugs. That's how it works. That's why they have it.
Well,
that's why.
Can you hear?
That's why that drug is legal. Because they want the addicts to be in the town and to stay addicts in the town. Not because it's costing them money, because it's making them money.
Well, then, if it's not costing them money, then why is my city's police force just going downhill?
Well, maybe because they're not run correctly, or it's not a good, maybe their structure isn't, in the right order. Maybe they're not correctly led. Maybe they don't have, a good leader in charge. Whatever it may be.
Well,
that's not the only way the town makes money.
Living here, I know that the whole situation is that we're bringing in these state troopers to try to help with the whole heroin.
Right. State troopers make arrests in your town. Where do you think those arrests are going?
To the state jail.
No, not if they're filling in for your cops. Your police force hasn't been totally disbanded, has it?
I'm sorry, what?
Has your police force been totally disbanded?
Not yet, but it's there.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen unless it's an extremely tiny town. Tiny.
What? No, not that tiny.
Right, not that tiny. And I'm telling you right now, they are making money because of that. 100%.
Okay, but my whole thing is that we're giving addicts a whole say, like, hey, if you use this drug, it's okay if you die. We'll bring you back to life, and you can just go use it again. Go ahead.
I don't think that's how it works. They're not people aren't doing it and saying, well, if I kill myself, they'll bring me back to life. There's no way I could die. That's not how you get into heroin. That's not how it works. That's not how.
Yeah, you're right. But but it's just, but still we're
What,
allowing. But
what we should be
okay,
doing.
if that the rehab systems that we have here in America aren't helping these addicts do anything because the rehab system here is a
Right.
joke.
You know what our rehab system is that's run by America? Do you know what our rehab system consists of, run by the government?
You're
Sorry.
going in and out.
Do you know what our U.S. rehab system consists of? Hello?
Consists of like this what it is in general, or just
What is the U.S. government's idea of rehab?
I'm not sure.
Prison.
I mean, just to help people.
I'll help you. The answer to that. The U.S. government doesn't put people into rehab. Rehab are privately run medical facilities that actually work, get people off of the drug. But the U.S. government doesn't put people into rehab. They put them into jail so they can continually make money off of them as basically tax slaves who have to work for no money. That's why your heroin problem's never going to get any better, because they don't want it to get any better. They just want jailing people for nonviolent offenses that only hurt themselves so they could use them as a form of slave labor in the jail. And they don't ever get off the drugs because they're not ever allowed to go off the drugs because they never get real rehab.
Well, like I said before, in the 70s, when Narcan did not exist, the rate of heroin users was at its low because people did not want to die because they knew that this drug was so bad. But now, since we have Narcan and we're bringing them back to life, the use like heroin users are going to go up the roof because we have a solution to bring them back to life and then maybe potentially help them, send them to prison and then rehab after, which.
But see, I don't think that statistic that you're using is accurate in that I think the reason why more people now are ODing and dying is A, because there are plain old more people, B, because more people are users, and C, because the drug itself is not nearly as pure and as on the level as it was in the 70s. So they're getting a lot more people who are trying to get in on the business of it, who are cutting it with things that are going to make people sick, more likely to kill people. Not that any heroin is going to be good for you, but if it's pure heroin and it's the actual drug, it's much less likely to make you, OD than it is if you get stuff that's, all cut up and, not really the drug.
And then also in my town, we have safe havens, which are places for these heroin users to go shoot up, and if they do OD, we are automatically there to save them.
See, that's wrong.
Yeah, see,
that's wrong, but that's a whole other thing. That's not the same.
Yeah,
those people, when they go to those places, they should keep them open, but as soon as they get there, they should take their stuff away from them and make them go to rehab. And if they did that, a lot of those people would get clean. A good percentage of those people would get clean. But the reason why they don't do that is because, like I said before, they don't want them to get clean.
Well, but and also it's also the person's choice as well. Like me having a family member who is addicted to narcotics, and we have given this person as much as we can to help him and send him through rehab, but all he decides to do is just not take our help and continue being this junkie or whatever. So it's just like.
Well, if you don't mind me asking, what is this person using?
What is this? Oh, he's mixing a whole bunch of different narcotics. I couldn't even. I know it's like heroin, crystal meth, and then this new type of drug that is the huge hoopla around.
Okay. This is just from what I've heard and what I've read and anecdotal evidence. If you want to give this person a real shot, if you want to try and really help them, one way that a lot of people don't know much about is a drug called, I believe it's called ibogaine. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. It comes from a plant in South America. It's probably illegal here, but you can get it through certain ways. If you do enough research on it, it can be done. And there are people who do this drug, and it makes you. It's like a psychedelic drug. So it's a drug in its own right. But what happens is after people do this, I think it has like a 90% rate of them curing their addictions because it somehow forces their brain to think in a different way. So you might want to try and look into that because that's one of the most effective forms of rehab on earth. But we're not allowed to use it because it's a psychedelic drug and this is America and it's ridiculous. So, that's just a thought. But I think the people who are hooked on it now, if they're ODing and, they're really sick, I think they should be allowed the chance to save themselves with the drug that we invented for that purpose. I don't think there's any reason to let these people die.
But
just
the thing is, like, the majority of these people don't want to help themselves. Because they can't. They're addicted. It's like it's a disease. Right. I understand this, but it's just like, but we're giving these people their chance of life to maybe make something out of it or go back into the path that they have already.
Yeah, well, I think they should be given that chance. As long as it's reasonable, I think they should be given that chance because, it's not something that's always their fault. It's not something that's easy to come back from. And, sometimes it's really nothing that was ever going to stop that person from becoming addicted to that drug. Sometimes they have no chance in life, and that can give them another chance without them just dying needlessly.
Well, my thing is just like they're already on their road to destruction, and they've already done the destruction. Half of them are already halfway dead anyway. Zombies, their brains are fried. So it's just why are we giving these people a second chance of life? Like maybe we shouldn't just ban it, maybe in all, but there should be like set laws where one can only get so many Narcan shots because they've had it's like 3 strike you're out maybe. But this is in my town especially, it's just such a severe thing that I feel like maybe taking away this drug might stop the whole hookah or actually, I don't know.
Well, I think it's a question of human psychology, and I think if you look throughout history and in every walk of life and every period of time, as crazy as it sounds, a lot of people are not afraid to die because they're just not their brains are not working correctly. There's something wrong, but I don't think that's a reason why we should let them go. If you don't mind me asking, what part of the country do you live in where this problem is so bad?
It's considered the Northeast, but we're kind of like I live in Ohio.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah.
And it's bad there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, I live in New Jersey, and I've heard there's certain parts of New Jersey that really have it bad too. And I have a friend who just got back from rehab. So I'm hoping he's okay. He never OD'd or anything, but he had a bad problem. So you never know. But I just think that the whole thing in the bigger picture is kind of a big scam by the government to make a whole lot of money off of the people, which they continue to do.
I understand.
So I'm always for the people to get another chance because we're pretty much born into a system that is not out to help us. So that's my take on it.
Right.
All right. Well, it was a good discussion, and maybe we'll talk about something else in the future. Have a good.
All right. Good talk.